So today's the day for Doom the Dark Ages, I guess, for people who are paying extra money for it. Let's go look at the Steam page here and kind of refresh on the situation here. So it's out in 2 days, but if you give them $100 for the premium edition, you can play it now. I imagine, I guess you probably have to do that on all platforms. I was going to say, on Game Pass, you probably only have to buy the premium edition upgrade, but I don't know either how they actually handle that. So I don't have the answer to that question in front of me. Doom the Dark Ages is a cool game. It's very good. It really feels more like a sequel to Doom 2016 and a rethink of how all of that combat should kind of work, as opposed to, building on a lot of the ideas that were in Doom Eternal, which ended up being, I think, more divisive than anyone could have anticipated. When Doom Eternal was coming out, on paper, all of those systems seemed great. You're like, oh, it makes sense. I kill this way to get this resource, and then I spend that resource to get this resource, and so you're kind of, your numbers are kind of all flowing up and down. And when you're doing that well, it's, you're moving, you're killing your way across a level and what have you. And the minute you kind of fall off of it, it's like you hit up against a wall in Sonic the Hedgehog and you're stuck on a small ramp, and you're pushing to the right and it's taking him forever to start moving again. That combined with the platforming, kind of the poles and the other stuff in there, just Doom Eternal really bummed me out as a follow-up to Doom 2016. This game feels like something of an acknowledgement of that, but really I think it's more of a refinement of a lot of those ideas, and also kind of a step in the direction of player freedom and player expression as well. You can really kind of just, and I'm talking about this on kind of the default-ish difficulty settings. You can kind of pick whatever weapon you want, and there are weapon upgrades in here that will give you more resources. And so you can kind of spec in a direction of like, oh, okay, well, I want to do this, or I want to do, I'm not getting enough of this thing or that thing. I need more ammo. And so, you're like, okay, well, I can put an upgrade on this weapon that when I shoot a guy enough times, this happens. And then, and then ammo pickups will fly out of them, or armor and stuff like that. So, I hit this guy with a shotgun and the guy catches on fire, and then he starts shedding armor pickups, or whatever. There's a lot of neat stuff like that in here. It doesn't necessarily dominate the upgrade tree per se. And that's all combined with a kind of an overhauled melee system that involves a straight up shield with a buzzsaw around it, that you can throw and stick into enemies. You can parry attacks with it. And so there's more of a up close, in your face, fuck you kind of thing happening here, where you can just get up in a guy's face and just, hit him with all of your melee charges, going fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and that's incredibly satisfying. Like incredibly satisfying. I think the combat here is fun. It's got enough of a challenge to it. You can make a lot of adjustments around the parry window, and if you want to make it easier to parry or harder to parry, you really do kind of have a lot of options at your disposal. This is the game turned all the way up on PC, with limited exception here. We are locked to 60 frames a second for the capture, because it's a 60 frames per second capture, and when I set it higher than that, the capture explodes. It's very bad. And I am set to SDR. I have HDR disabled. It's a great. I really like the HDR, like because it is this kind of dark. It is this kind of dark environment, and hell and the glow of that, and a lot of that stuff I think comes through really well. I've been playing with mouse and keyboard. I was looking for the there it is. This is running on a 5090. Everything turned up to Ultra Nightmare. DLAA, what have you. And then, you know, put through OBS and all this other stuff. One thing here, hey, one thing I noticed with the PC version of the game, I have not seen it on consoles, so I don't have an answer to this question, is like, do the other console versions, I wonder if they load like this, because the load times on this are crazy. Like, that was it, man. And like, if I hit restart from checkpoint, or, you know, if I'm in a mission and do some stuff and go, oh, this didn't, I missed a thing, and, you know, like, it's right there. It reloads. It's right there. And that's really crazy. So let's see. This is our run speed. The game does a really good job with, like, just making you feel meaty and just massive, and just like you are a machine, just murdering. And so, you know, you create a shockwave when you land on the ground that will take out fodder enemies. There are, you know, a lot of, like, small enemies that kind of die in one shot, kind of dotting the landscape, and you can use those guys to get resources and what have you as you're fighting the kind of larger enemies. A lot of the, you know, kind of the bells and whistles and stuff, I think are very similar if you've played the last couple of Doom games, in terms of just the level layout and the maps and everything. The thing I'd say is that there are a lot more open-ish levels here. Open areas, kind of larger seeming. Like, it's not an open world game. It's nothing like that. It's not an open zone game in a Halo Infinite kind of way. But you know, you come out of the corridors and you're in these big kind of open environments a lot more frequently. I guess in this level here, we need to kind of take the dragon to go somewhere else. There are a couple of vehicle sequence style things here. This is, I think at this point in the campaign, this is maybe like the third time you've been on the dragon. And I don't think the dragon stuff is especially great. And there's also like a big mech suit that you can pilot. And kind of the cool thing about some of the dragon levels is that you'll go in and do some stuff and then land, and so you'll kind of be on foot for a while. Okay, we'll get some gold if we shoot down this ship. Gold is the upgrade currency in the game. All right. Let's assume that was heading in the right direction and taking us basically where we want to go. Looks like it. 10 more secrets to find in this level. Yeah, you know, like the previous games, you can stare at the map and go, oh, there's a secret here, and I need to find a way to get up here and do this. And here's what I'm talking about. Wrong way. All of this, and the, I would say the mech suit are based around this kind of like stick and move combat that is extremely punch out. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, I think it's kind of the lackluster part of the game, is that stuff is not super compelling from a gameplay perspective. It's like a decent palate cleanser, but I will say that there's maybe a little too much dragon here. Oh man, is Romero's head going to be behind this thing? What are we doing? Okay, that's a landing spot, so we'll... We'll land, we'll do our thing. It's got a weapon wheel here, you know, you can kind of see the weapons at your disposal. I've been using the number keys. And there are effectively 2 weapons for each slot. So, you know, you start with your kind of regular shotgun here, and eventually you will find the super shotgun. And you can swap between the 2 weapons that go into the shotgun slot with the F key here. Same deal with this. It's like a nail gun and then more of a kind of spike, like a high damage, low ammo sort of thing. I've been using the Cycler a lot, which is the second stage plasma rifle. That's the stage 1. We've got this. It's shotgun-like, but it shoots bone shards. And that's a real silly thing. This is maybe the one weapon I've been like, okay, I don't want to do this. It's cool though, because it does shoot this ball with a chain on it and then pulls it back. but it's not like a scorpion thing that's pulling things back to you per se. So it's yeah, I don't know. Of the weapons, that's been the least useful. Here we have a rocket launcher, and here we have a grenade launcher. Here's what the rocket launcher looks like, in case you want to see. You know, it's a rocket launcher. You can toggle between the kind of last two weapons you've equipped at any given time, and so I use that to swap quickly between the rocket launcher and the plasma. You know, kind of before we run over here and see whatever the heck is going on over here, why don't we look at... I guess we could have done this too. You know, you unlock skins for the weapons and stuff. There is kind of multiple upgrades here. So for the regular shotgun, the first stage is when you shoot enemies, they catch on fire, and when they do, they start dropping armor. And then the final upgrade here is, you know, increased projectiles per shot, and the regular shotgun gets pretty good. The super shotgun will one-shot a lot of stuff, and you can upgrade it to kind of, you know, knock down the reload times and do more armor damage, which is nice. Armor is an interesting concept. They kind of show it here. You see how that armor glows after that shot hits? When you get the armor hot enough, you can actually just throw your shield at the guy, and it will blow the armor off him. You can keep shooting and eventually get it off that way too, but once you heat up a shield, like if a guy's got a shield or if there's an armored guy, you get it to that stage where it's lit up like that and hot, and you can break it off him. And that's fun to do. For the cycler here, we deal shock damage, and that will arc from enemy to enemy as you use it, and that's been really good. For the rocket launcher, it's like I mean, not really for rocket jumping per se, but if you parry an attack, you have a brief window where any damage that you do to yourself with the rocket launcher heals you instead. So you can get up in someone's face with the rocket launcher. I find that like a lot of the game is built around this notion of like, hey, here's a way for you to get up in someone's face and really mess them up. The shield has a base level of upgrades, and then you eventually get these runes that when you parry an attack, the rune will activate. Right now I'm using one that causes this auto turret to fire for a little bit after a successful projectile parry. That does not happen on melee parries, it's only on projectiles. And you have multiple melee weapons to equip. Currently I have the flail equipped because it's sick. You have some in-mission challenges to complete for some extra upgrade currency. And there are secrets and lore collections and pickups and all that sort of stuff. All right. I have been playing this, like, trying to get as many... there's a bug here in the map where sometimes it doesn't lock you down the way it should when you get in here. So I've been spending a lot of time looking at the map every time I go somewhere and going like, oh, is there a secret here? Do I need to find it? And, you know... so we have these climbable surfaces here. A bounce pad. Let's see where this is going to take us. What is that? Oh, is that a life? No, that's a gold. That's not gonna. We're not gonna collect that. Oh, that's. Oh, I see. So yes, sorry. Let's fight this. So these are fodder enemies. If I am blocking with the shield, I can do a shield charge. I also have to say, from an accessibility perspective on the color blindness, something, you know, that the previous games did not do very well was, you know, offering like a good color blindness mode. I will say they just straight up have the ability to let you color the parryable attacks to any color you want. And it is literally the difference between me being able to play this game and me not being able to play this game, because I think otherwise it's like green and yellow and they just look the same to me. So being able to turn this on, and this is actually, I think when you turn this on, this is the default on color. It's been mostly perfect. Oh, look at that. call down a friggin' console. I mean, of course it has one. He parried that guy's attack and he exploded. Okay, this is a secret here. So there'll be little things that if you can stick your shield into and then hit the recall button, it will kind of launch you up into the air. And I don't know if I need to. I'm not going to spend too much time on it here because it is a secret. But oh, you know what we do? We do this. That's clever. We stick it here, and then we go over here, and then we do this. Oh, I guess we could have hit it from this. I guess actually, maybe not as clever as I thought. Okay. So there's gold here, and then we use that. It's a one-way door to then move on. See, there's a bunch of secrets up ahead. This is the one enemy for which the default color on that parry color is not great. Because some of these are parryable and some are not. That's a signifier that we can bash our way through here. And then this will be a weapon skin or a doll of some kind. Oh shit. Oh shit. There's fucking guys down there. Alright, we gotta shoot. Oh, so this is just okay. I can. He's attacking like I'm on a dragon. That's with those types of projectiles. We have another bounce pad somewhere. I can hear it. All right. So that means there's a secret down here. Yeah. You see, there's a. Well, okay. Apparently that's not the way in, but I'm not just gonna not get that gold. It seems like it would be a situation where I'd be able to run off this edge or get down there somehow, but nothing bashable. That's a different color, but that's probably not it. Oh, no, that's right. No, that was us falling off the world. It's very generous about that. Like you fall off, it's just like, here you go, reset. No big deal. All right, let's just move on instead of me spending a bunch of time recording myself staring at the map. There's some gold up there too. Up here. Look, I can't help it. Okay, so we're running up to some. They signify that this is kind of a point of no return. Oh, here, look at this. Fuck those guys. Yeah. Still one left. Take that. Oh, we get to do it again. All right. So here we got a guy on a thing. The parry window is pretty forgiving. You can tighten it up if you want. It's okay. We'll kill the rider, but this thing's still up. Guys with those shields, when you hit them with you have limited melee charges, but you get an additional melee charge every time you successfully parry an attack. And so melee charges are not super hard to come by. That guy, I think the... Oh god. Okay, let's take care of this fucking guy. grenade. We don't want that. That's for suckers. Oh, that's bad. Okay, we're down here now. I don't know. We're alive. You know, so it's kind of in your best interest to not really waste a bunch of ammo on these guys. I mean, and they really set it up so when you throw the shield, it kills like guys that are not even close to where the shield hit. You know, and your shield bash has such a outsized radius on it that you know, you're just taking out huge clusters of people. Oh, what was that? Oh, that was a bad parry right there. So there is this kind of yo-yo effect that goes on in this game that, oh man, like, it's like almost like talking and playing is not as easy as I always say it is, but here we are. This guy's shooting me, it's bad. Okay, we need to not have a rocket launcher out right now. Okay. So, you know, we're bashing these guys. We're getting resources out of them. The glory kills will get you health. Most of those glory kills are a lot faster. Oh, it's this fucking guy. Okay. Oh, we got one of these too. So, all right. So his armor's all lit up. Boom. No more armor. That's fun. It's a fun thing to pay attention to. And you get these kind of like bullet hell patterns here where you're almost like running back and forth like you're playing tennis, trying to find that this is a bad situation here. We might actually die. Okay. Where are we? Okay, we saw an arc go back that way, so there's definitely a guy back there. Okay. Is his armor hot? Looks like it. Okay. So yeah, it rewards aggression, you know, like for as much as it has this parry system, and I think people were worried like, oh, is it going to be like a much slower, you know, there's this idea of like stand your ground, like a stand and fight kind of idea, which is, I don't know, is that the stop and pop of its generation? There's a lore page over there with some gold. Is it off this edge? Yeah. Like, it's still pretty fast-paced, and it is still, you know, like there's an aspect of, like, the parry system is something where I feel like I'm running after it. I am running at enemies to try to, like, cause a parryable situation, or with some of these enemies with these large, you know, again, these bullet hell-like. I mean, it's not, like, hard like a bullet. It's not truly hell. I mean, I guess it is hell. It is Doom. Anyway, with those bullet patterns, where only like a limited number of the projectiles are things that you can parry, it feels like this very mobile, like you're running back and forth to catch one. You're over here, you're like, boom, fuck you, and then you run over to the other side and do it again, and I think that's really fun. It's a really neat and kind of weird idea, but I think it works really well in the context of
the nearby stasis emitter.
Okay, stasis emitter. Right, that's what we were here doing. Stasis emitters. We're going to deactivate stasis emitters. I think that really works. The just overall the way that it handles these parries and stuff, I think works really well. I've been just a big fan of the way this thing plays. And it feels just open-ended enough. Like, again, like, sometimes Doom Eternal would feel like there was one right way to play it, and if you were not playing it that way, you were, running into issues. Is this a button or... Okay. Oh, wrong. Nope. This. Just punch it. Yeah. Just punch it. I wrote more about the story and stuff like that in the review that I wrote. That's on Patreon. Patreon.com/Jeff Gerstmann. Anybody can go read that. It's open to the public, and you don't have to sign up. It'd be cool if you did, though. I think the story works well enough. There are a few situations where you go from chapter to chapter, and it feels like it's just kind of dumping you in another area, and you're like, based on what just happened, I feel like we need a little more setup as to where I am and why than what they give you. But it works well enough. Oops. And so I'm just doing these, Oh, here, this is a cool animation. That is a neat... That's pretty neat. Oh, hey. No, chase him. We got too far away. I did a bad job of making that turnaround there. He warped out. He made it to the end of whatever track he was on. I think that thing will respawn, and you can to get another shot at it. But whatever. Let's go see whatever the next. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want this gold. You need this gold. I started out. This was a tricky game to review at first because I was 100%ing all of the levels. And so it was just taking a lot longer because I was staring at the map and going, well, I've got to find out how to get this last secret. And no individual secret has been too tough. Man, did I miss that guy too? Jeez. Oh, well, we're here. Oh, wrong way. Again, I screwed that up. Okay. When you dodge this, when you do a perfect dodge here, it supercharges your gun. And so that's the science on how these encounters work. Is that you need to do the dodge to break through, like if they've got shields or whatever. You need to do that to land the attacks on them. All right. Some of these dragon levels, the first dragon level is a little bit like this. Like, okay, fly around for a while, shoot down some ships, clear a landing spot, land, do some dirt, get back on your dragon, do it some more. The first time I did it, I was like, this is kind of cool. It's like a different sense of scope and size, but it's just been a little too much of it, and the dragon stuff is just not especially compelling. Here's a tank that we're just going to kill. Hang on, you guys. Oh, weird snake man with whip. So that time I stuck my saw up in him. That's why he's stunned. You can do that to these bigger enemies if you need to. Get over there. Land that foot. Don't just do the animation. You with that. And then you guys, what do you want? What do you want? Okay. Ah. Creepy spikes. From hell, no less. I think it's a really nice looking game. And it moves really well. It moves really fast. What do you... Oh, okay. Let's just get there this way. Like, I'm sure there's a staircase or something, but... Let's just get in this dude's face. Use the, Oh, jeez. Okay. Now we've gone and done it. You can store up to 3 of these life sigils. You find them around the levels. Usually in hidden areas, and you can just use them to respawn immediately right where you stand, but obviously you only have 3 of them. Fuck these guys over here shooting at me. What do you think they're doing? Oh, there's an invisible dude too. Okay, I was like, this seems like there's just more heat here than I think there. Okay, well, all right. So we'll heat up his shield. Yeah, and there's that guy. This is the upgrade station. Later upgrades take rubies. The final upgrade takes these wraith stones, which is the thing at the end here. I could upgrade the shotgun. Well, yeah, let's upgrade the rocket launcher because I'm just using it more. But I don't really use cannibal, you know, like... I will say that some of these kind of late upgrades on some of this stuff have not been... Like, I upgraded the cycler all the way, and I've been continuing to use that. So, like, that kind of freedom with the weapons does seem like it eventually leads to the situation where it's like, these upgrades are not bad, but I'm just not using these weapons enough to, you know, to care. But we do want to spend some of our gold on upgrading the turret, because I just unlocked that in, like, the previous level. Yeah, demons damaged by the auto turret drop health. That seems good. That seems like a thing I could use. Me, Mr. Just Died. Alright, and we need 300 for the final one of those. This one shoots ghost knives, which, you know, was cool. And this is a ground pound kind of deal. They all seem effective. Like, that's the thing, is like, I don't know that there's any weapon in here that feels completely ineffective except for the weird ball and chain thing. And so it does feel like a lot of this comes down to something of a personal preference. Heal yourself with a cannibalism upgrade with... Okay, so if I do that 50 times, then I will unlock, I think it's a skin. I almost have the cycler mastery skin. Because it's like chain lightning 500 times. And I'm like, yep, on it. We could spend these rubies on a super shotgun upgrade, but I'm not using the super shotgun all that much, so we'll hold off. And I went flail over power gauntlet, so I'm not going to spend that money right now, unless I see a reason to change back at some point. Okay. I guess we move on. There's a ruby over there. There's a ruby over here somewhere. There it is, up there. Yeah, I was gonna say, this seems like a good place to throw in a fight. This guy sucks. Alright, and one of these guys. right, that's him. So this guy, if I get too far away, he will shield up and just start shooting these skulls. And so you're really incentivized to really stay in this guy's face. Oh. The difficulty's pretty new. Oh, that guy's shielded. The difficulty's pretty nuanced in that I think one of the options like sets like how easy it is to stagger enemies and knock them out of their attacks. Oh man, that was a bad timing on my part, that's for sure. Take some of this, have some of this. You can be kind of sloppy with the shield. The parry is not like if you hit it early, it'll usually let you get away with like, oh, let me hit that again. And again, the window is pretty wide by default. On higher difficulties, it'll do things like, I think on the highest difficulty, like you only heal if you find a life sphere. It's like there's all kinds of messed up stuff if you want to turn it up. And, you know, the harder the game gets, I think, you know, the more it just kind of requires you to use your arsenal well. You know, like the shotgun with burn is going to heat up armor a lot faster than even the cycler does, and the cycler does it pretty quickly. And so there is sort of a, you know, use this against this, use this against this concept to, you know, your arsenal. Oh, that guy's already had hot armor. I should be shooting my gun as well. I was like, let's just parry these guys. But no, I guess I can now. I can. Oh, wow, what the? No. That was that guy's dead body. So yeah, I think some of these encounters, you just come out of them feeling like, oh, I did the thing. I did the thing they were trying to get me to do, and really effed those guys up. And it was cool. Can I go? Yeah. Some gold down here. Here's one of these life spheres I've heard so much about. Let's replenish those. I think I've died, you know, by this point, let's say I think I've died about 4 times. Did I leave gold down here like some kind of dope? What is this? No. That's just some kind of hell thing. There is something kind of funny about them turning the Doom Man into some kind of like murder junkie Captain America with this shield. As you upgrade the shield, you can make it so it bounces from enemy to enemy. He's got charging stars. He's got shield slash. If you block too much, there is a concept of a guard crush. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say this seems like the type of area where you would hide a bunch of stuff. I think the music's been okay. I know that's been something of a sore spot. It's okay. I don't know that I would say that it's stood out all that much. Oh. Okay, let's... What else is happening? Oh, sorry, there's a guy over here. Nope, not hot enough. There. Is that hot enough? No, not quite. I'm just misjudging this. Okay, that's hot. That's hot armor right there. All right. Oh, I'm on fire somehow. That's probably not great. The running, it's the footsteps, it's the part of the audio I really like is that the landing from a jump, just the bass, just the as you're thumping around these worlds messing people up. Like it's very satisfying. I've been playing with mouse and keyboard. This game seems like it would perform just fine on a controller, but Doom is maybe the last franchise left where I say, well, Counter-Strike. I mean, but like the last franchise left where I say, like, you know what? No, I need to play this with a mouse and keyboard. It doesn't feel like it, it feels wrong to me to play it with a controller. But I know the last couple of games were fine with a controller, so you know this. Okay, that was a bad. Oops, that was way too early. Or whatever, this guy's dead. Suck it. Okay. Nope, that's the up button. We want to hit the down button. The transition on and off the dragon is cool. I mean, I'll give it that. I just, you know, the dragon itself just kind of feels, again, like a little extraneous. There's something. Oh, I'm all the way in some kind of weird. There's a ruby. Is it up there? Is it somehow as part of this thing? Oh yeah, you can swim. You know, Doom. You can swim. Ah. Okay. So there's a ruby in there. That looks like, okay, there's a hole in the, so there's going to be some kind of underwater way into there, it looks like. But swimming around the outer edges of it, I don't immediately see it. And I don't think I'm willing to spend a bunch of time hunting for secrets while we're recording, so. I mean, I would put it right here if I were... But maybe it's somewhere super weird and, you know, there's one level where there was a situation like that and it was just, you're running through shallow water and then suddenly it was like, oh, I fell in a hole and now I'm in deep water and I'm under, oh, that's how you get there. It was so, it felt almost arbitrary in a way that, like, most of the secrets are pretty logical and straightforward, but that one felt a little like, okay, if I hadn't just magically wandered upon that one spot, I would still be going insane staring at a gate like this from 3 or 4 levels back. That's Doom of the Dark Ages, man. It's got these really good, really big moments, and I think it's really well made. I'm really impressed with the technology, and I'm curious to see how well it scales across the, you know, the console platforms and such. Ooh, okay. Here's our, this is going to be our last shield rune. The Heaven Splitter. Parried projectiles are now converted into bolts of lightning. When the lightning bolt impacts a target, it will trigger a lightning strike that stuns nearby enemies. So is that immediate, or so does that... Okay, so that's instead of bouncing the projectile back, it just zaps them. Weird. What's the upgrade tree look like on that? Okay, so we got increased stun duration, area affected, demons get shocked, and so yeah, shocked demons take more damage, and yeah, okay, I'll do that. They've done a good job. The weapons haven't always been this way because of that weird ball and chain thing that I have not found a great use for. But the shield upgrades and the shield runes have been a series of like, oh dude, I'm going to use that instead. And that's been real cool. And there's, you know, obviously a third melee weapon in here somewhere. I take back everything I said about this technology. This game is bogus. Come on. All right. Let's, this guy doesn't do projectiles. So. Oh yeah, he does. Well, too late now. I'll say if I back off far enough, I think he will shoot. Oh, that other guy will shoot. So whatever. Let's kill this guy. Run away. Shoot me. Okay, so it does still bounce it back. Okay. That was the animation, the little video thing didn't, it made it seem like it was immediate and that the lightning was striking from above or something. Hi. Yeah, just beating the crap out of these guys and making stuff pop out of them. It's a good time. It's a good time. Oh, there's gold under us. Haha. Again, like the fast load times, like from the tech end and all that stuff. I've been really impressed with it. I think it's a great looking game. Some really nice art, some really good like wide shots of like, you know, you're fighting on this piece of land and there's water at the edge of it, and then a little ways out on the water are just these gigantic demons and a robot suit fighting each other the entire time you're on the level. And you know, it's neat. They do a really good job of making the scale of this feel massive in some of these levels, and that goes a long way. I want, you know, I will say that there are probably some Doom Eternal purists out there that will probably be a little disappointed by the looseness, the relative looseness of this combat system. But I think for most people, this will be an incredibly large improvement over the previous game. And I think that what they've done with melee and parrying and stuff, the way they've built it out over the previous game, really adds a lot to it. And the pace of it is really interesting now because, you know, you can run and jump over guys and shoot them and do all this other stuff, but like you have this shield, you can stun a guy with it and work on someone else while that guy is stunned, or stun him and run up and melee. You know, it feels like you have more and more interesting tools in your toolbox, and it's up to you when you deploy them, as opposed to a flow chart of doing this, and then I do this, and then I do this, and then if this happens, I do this, and otherwise I do this, and I'm out of chainsaw fuel, and so I need to do this, and you know, that wore out its welcome pretty immediately. And so, you know, I really think that this is an incredible improvement. This is just a fantastic game. Again, some of the big ticket kind of like vehicle style sequences with the mech suit and the dragon, not awesome. They're fine. They're big spectacles, and that's fine. But not the most engaging gameplay. You know, the combat itself when you're on foot is so good that like doing this dragon thing of like, oh, gotta dodge this, and now it's slow motion. I got a super gun. Like, it's just kind of the same trick over and over again, and you know, it's at first it seems like it'll be a decent palate cleanser, but as I've played through more and more of it, and at this point when I'm recording, you know, this is like, you know, this is about halfway. This level's somewhere around the halfway mark of the 22 chapters in the game. But yeah, it's rad. It's a really good time. And you know, the story is fun and goes places and all that sort of stuff that you would want to, even if parts of it seem a little hastily thrown together from chapter to chapter. I think the overall story, I mean, it's almost like a RoboCop thing, you know, like the makers are keeping the Slayer on their little satellite, and he's just in this chamber, like asleep, but he keeps waking up out of it in a very RoboCop like fashion. Before it reaches a point where they can no longer control the Slayer. You know, alliances are built and broken, and demons and hell and all that sort of stuff. And it's a solid enough time in terms of like leading you through the story. The cutscenes look nice enough, and all of that. That stuff's fun. But like really, the driving force here is that feel of the combat, and it's propulsive. You want to just move from thing to thing to thing, and you get to kind of do it your way. And not to keep bringing up the previous game, but like that's a pretty substantial change from where they were before, and I think it's a hugely positive one. And yeah, it's great tech. I'm curious to see. I heard that the PlayStation version runs quite well. I didn't hear about the load times though. Like this game is like, in a weird way, at least here on PC, the closest thing I've seen to like that Ratchet and Clank PS5. Like it's just there. Like the you know, like it is Tony Hawk levels of restart from checkpoint, and the game is right there again. And you're like, oh shit, and that's kind of nuts. For how big some of these environments are and whatever, like it's sort of wild. Your mileage may vary, obviously. You know, PCs are PCs, right? And I'm curious to see if this game ever runs on a Steam Deck. It did not pre-release. I had to install unreleased NVIDIA drivers for this that I assume will be out by the time you see this, because you'll probably need them. I don't know. But yeah, this game is also coming out at a weird time for NVIDIA drivers, because the last several batches, several NVIDIA drivers have been fucking bad. So maybe a bad timing thing, but hopefully it'll at least get sorted out. I have not run into any widespread issues with performance or crashing or anything of that nature. But again, the magic of the personal computer. We'll see how it runs for everyone else once it hits. And I guess by the time you see this, there will be more people playing it and all of that good stuff. So that's it. Doom the Dark Ages. You want to read a full review? I wrote about 1,500 words on it over at patreon.com/Jeff Gerstmann. And you can go check that out and read the rest. Have a good one. I'll see you soon.